On this color wheel assignment, you will actually be drawing and painting a color wheel. To start out with, you need a circle. Try to use a sketchbook page and use most of the page. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Just try to make it big. To make your sections, you need 12. Here's the easiest way I can think of to do this. Draw a line across the middle, then draw an X through it. And then you'll have 6 sections, 3 here, 3 here. Then you just divide each of those in half all the way through. Okay, now the colors that you have available, I want you to use just certain ones. So I'm going to have you use the blue. That's the only blue that you have. So use your blue. Instead of using the regular looking red, I want you to use the pink red. I'm going to call this red. And don't use the gold and yellow. Use the regular yellow here. So you're going to start with the primaries. And remember that you're going to want to clean your brush off in between each color so you're not mixing up the colors in your palette. Or use a different brush for each color. So choose the primary. I'm going to do blue first. And it can go anywhere. I'm going to paint this pretty quick. I want you guys to try to do this a little bit more neatly. Try to stay in the lines as much as you can here. But just for the sake of a shorter video, I'm going to make this a little bit quicker. So blue first. And then I will do yellow. And I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3. And do my yellow here. Then I will do my red, and remember, I'm going to call this pinkish color red. I'm going to skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and paint my red here. You will notice as you go through some painting activities and practice that if you mix this kind of red with the other primaries, it's going to give you a certain secondary color. If you mix the regular red or the dark yellow with colors, it's going to give you some different results. So we're going to, for this, use just these 3 colors. All right, now for the secondary colors. Red and yellow together make orange. I'm going to put some of my red here. And remember, you try to do as much as possible, mix the colors straight on your palette, or straight on your sketchbook or in your canvas. All right, now I want my orange to look like a good secondary orange, so I'm going to use a little bit more red. While that's still wet, you can mix some more of that color in there. Try to mix it up as evenly as you can. And while I've got this color on my brush, I'm going to do my red orange and my yellow orange. So the yellow orange is going to be the same as this, except with more yellow. So I'm just going to put some of that color there and then take more yellow and add quite a bit. Just make sure that the yellow orange is more yellow than your orange, but not all the way yellow. And then your red orange has the same 2 colors, but it's got extra red. So you put that in there, and if it starts to look too much like your orange, then I want you to add more red. If it looks too much like your yellow orange, then add more of the other color. Right now, that looks pretty similar to my orange. I'm going to continue adding some more red and kind of mixing that in there. So it looks different than my orange. So this one's red-orange again. All right, now that looks a little bit different. So we got red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, and yellow. Now we'll move on to blue and green, which makes or sorry, blue and yellow, and that makes green. For this, you're going to need just a very small amount of blue. A little bit of blue will go a long way here, guys. So a lot more yellow and a little bit of blue. You need enough to cover the section though. And one thing I'm noticing here is that first little bit of blue I put on there, you can see that spot because it just dried so quickly into my paper. No big deal. Mix it in so it's fairly even. So we got green, and then if we're doing yellow-green, here we'll need lots of yellow, and I've still got some of that green on my brush. That's probably going to be enough. Make sure this one is more yellow than the green, but it needs to look different than the green. And it can't look too yellow. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then the blue-green, yellow there again, and this time a little bit more blue. So extra blue this time. And again, just make sure that it doesn't look too similar to your regular green color. I think I do need a little bit more blue. It's a little bit too similar. Go in and add some more blue if you need to. And we've got our blue-green. And lastly, violet or purple. You want, again, not so much of the blue. You're going to use a lot more of the red here. More red and less blue here to make a good secondary purple. That's because our blue is just so dark. A little bit goes a long way. Now, if you were mixing this blue with the dark red, the regular looking red, it's going to look a lot different than this. That's why I want you to use this pinkish red on this color wheel. All right, if we're doing the blue violet right here, we'll just need the same two colors, but this time extra blue compared to the red. Make sure it doesn't look too much like the blue. It does need to look different than the blue. And it should look different than the purple or violet. I think on the screen that still doesn't look quite too much different than the blue, so I'm going to add a little bit more. Sometimes colors look different on the screen than they do in real life. Okay, so you just have to trust me. That one looks different than the blue. And on the blue or the red violet, this time you'll need mostly the red color and just a little bit of blue. Got a touch of blue mixed in there. And we've got our red violet. That's the 12 colors from the color wheel. I do want you guys to do a little bit more of a clean job on this and not so sloppy. But you can take a little bit more time to do this. Don't worry about labeling each of these because you did that on the other assignment. But have this painted, all 12 colors from the color wheel. Once you're done, take a photo of that and turn that in.